Hello, good evening. How are you? Welcome to this second meetup, Stock Investing in Farmers Branch, Texas, just outside Dallas, Texas. We had the first meetup in December 2018, last month, and we're going to take a look at the stocks that were mentioned at that meetup. We're going to see how those stocks are doing now, right? And we'll do that every month. I'll just give you a summary. I don't want to bore you, so we can keep track of how they are doing compared to what we expected them to do. Okay, so today's theme, the featured item was diversification. So we'll talk just a little bit about that. I will review last month's portfolio. And then I'll also mention some new stocks for this January 2019 portfolio. And we'll see how they do as the weeks go by. So as I mentioned last time, the main question is, are you making money? Very often we get bogged down in the noise surrounding the area of investing in general. The GDP, it's up or down, the unemployment rate, balance of payment, trade balances, manufacturing index, all kinds of bits of data. And it's important to remember that the most important question is, are you making money? So you can keep track of these stocks, verify them, check them. You can look at the YouTube videos. The links appear at the bottom of the About Us section in Meetup, what we are about, that section, which is kind of a brief description. So at the bottom of that, you'll see links to the YouTube videos, and I'll place those links each month after the meetup happens. So you can always look at that. So we have these meetups on the last Saturday of each month. The next one coming up is Saturday, February 23rd. Same time, same place. So diversification, I think, is an important part, the most important part, in my opinion, to reduce risk and to increase the likelihood of achieving success, the yield that you're looking for, like having shock absorbers, so the bumps along the way are not excruciatingly painful. So that's what we do. We have a basket of distributed investments, sectors of the economy, energy, agriculture, transportation, education, and so on. So transportation sector, buses, trains, airlines, airline industry, the companies in it, American, Delta, Southwest, and so on. And then it's a good idea to pick some large companies and also some smaller ones. So basically getting a diversified portfolio. Has this happened to you? You're driving along and that lane is moving faster. Let me switch lanes. And then the other lane moves faster. So same thing happens in the stock market. Companies that are doing well, or all of a sudden, we don't know, the stock rises, jumps. So by diversifying, having your money in various companies, you're more likely to catch those spikes, benefit from those. For example, this company, Smart Pros Limited, just recently, I think early January, they just, what was it, $3.50. It went almost all the way up to $8.50. So things like this can happen. And by having your money in various companies, you can catch those. Also, you can pick companies in different parts of the world. So here are some examples. I mean, it's not a comprehensive list, but regional distribution. The way I do it, I pick companies that are listed on the New York Stock Exchange or NASDAQ because, in my opinion, it's a better legal and regulatory structure here that they have to comply with. So, that's how I do it. So in today's stock picks, you'll see companies in different countries: Sweden, Ireland, India, uh, you know, a couple of others I don't recall. So another way to diversify is having some short-term stocks that are likely to yield a result 3 months, 6 months, or some medium, a year, 2 years, and then some are, of course, long-term. And also, I think it's a good idea not to put all of your money right away, let's say in January. And then come April, you say, look at that. I see a juicy stock. Oh, but darn, I don't have money because I've invested all of that. And I don't want to liquidate because they're doing well, those stocks. So to avoid that kind of a situation, you may want to consider investing some in Jan, Feb, each month along the way, and take advantage of those good opportunities as they arise, not miss out on them. And also what you can do is this, let's say it's a 1-year time frame. So your January portfolio, you can liquidate December or Jan, like 12 months away. And then invest that money along with the profits, hopefully, in the opportunities that arise at that point. So like compound interest, we are trying to get exponential growth. So that's how I would approach it. And just a minor point, in case the company goes belly up, you might want to consider, using a couple of different brokers. It's something to think about. Okay, so let's take a look at our December 2018 portfolio, see how those stocks are doing. So all the prices for January are as of yesterday, Friday, January 25th, 2019, okay, at market close. So the first one is technical communications. December 28 was 255, now 270 as of yesterday, current market. So you can see a small movement on the right edge of the screen in the chart on the right as of yesterday. China Mobile closed at 47.60 back in December. Now you can see a distinctly upward movement in the chart on the right, so up to 51.76. Denberry, $1.72, some movement. It's discernible in the chart, 207. 3D Systems, they make 3D printers. So 1010, most recent, 1151. Tata Motors, automobiles, they own Jaguar and Land Rover in the UK. 1231, didn't go up very much, kind of lingering in the neighborhood of 12. But I expect it to rise quite a bit in a year's time. Tilly's, 1072, you can see a noticeable rise in the January 25th chart. Restaurants, 1062, 11 as of yesterday. Container store, 469, and you can clearly see in the January chart that it's showing signs of rising. Zenetic Biosciences, focusing on cancer medicines. So $1.65 it was, now $2.08. And you can see some bumps along the way as it headed upward in the January, the recent chart. Airport spas, 15 cents. As of yesterday, 19. So it's just 4 cents. But think of it in terms of a percentage, right? So it's just 4 cents, but that's almost 25%. So if you had invested 100,000 in December, like December 28, yesterday you would have made 23, 24,000, whatever that is, in 1 month, right? So rather than think of absolute dollar amounts, it might be helpful to think of these in terms of percentages. What percent did it rise? And it's kind of flatlining, like moving laterally sideways. You never know, it might spike up, but I expect this to rise in any case. Longevity was at 564, now at 666, and there's clearly some movement that has happened in the last 1 month. Zion Pharma, oncology, so cancer related, $1.66, 212. Doesn't appear to be much of a movement looking at the chart, but just like 212 yesterday. Recon, a Chinese company, automation for the petroleum industry, was 71, now $1.01. Westport, they make engines, especially liquefied natural gas, so $1.37, up $1.55. Titan Medical, robotic surgery, Titan Medical, so $1.22. In the chart on the right, you can see dramatic movement. And I expect it'll continue to rise. So solar, they make shingles, rooftop shingles that also act as solar panels. So actually dropped a penny. So I expect this to rise, moving laterally a little bit. So it might be slow. We don't know. USA Tech, so they make, they don't make, they process payments at point of sale, laundromats or vending machines, any self-checkout. So there's clearly upward movement, you can see. Pizza Inn, 76 cents. I expect it'll rise. Has risen to $1.08. And those were the 18 stocks that I mentioned in the December meetup. So the investment would have been $117.71 with 1 share in each. As of today, as of yesterday's market close, $134.28. So that represents about just a little over 14%. So you might say, well, just multiply that by 12 and you'll get the annual rate. Not so simple, because stocks might move slowly or they might just go sideways. You don't know. So we can discount that. Or you might say, well, that's too optimistic. Your estimates, they were too rosy. So you can discount that. But still, I wouldn't be surprised if it exceeds the 50% ROI. That's the goal. The aspiration is 50%. So I wouldn't be surprised if it exceeds that, going by these. But we'll see. I mean, we don't know. We'll see. It's only a month since these stocks, were acquired. So we'll see in the coming months how that all pans out. And next, we're going to take a look at some new stocks for this January 2019 portfolio. There are 12 stocks here. So the first one is Lithium, you know the word, you've heard lithium batteries and so on. So this company, Lithium Americas Corporation, has mines in Argentina and also here in the US, in the state of Nevada. So their stock is now at 315. I expect it will rise to about 11. Hudson Technologies, they offer refrigerants, so gas, liquid, whatever, anywhere they need refrigeration, anyone. So their stock is now at $1.20, expected to rise to about 6 in a year's time. All of these have a 1-year time horizon. Amira is a company based in India, was founded in 1915, so more than 100 years old. Basmati rice and things like that, related food products. Their headquarters, interestingly, are in Dubai, maybe for tax purposes. I don't know. I'm guessing. And they have sales worldwide. So their stock is now at the low end, 92 cents, listed on the New York Stock Exchange 3 or 4 years ago. I expect it should rise to about 6. Travelport is a major platform. Airlines, travel agencies, hotels, car rentals, anything to do with that whole travel tourism business, flight reservations. So their stock is now at 15.82. I expect it'll rise to 30. But I want to get it just a little bit lower. So I've got an order to buy 15.25. Xenon for targeting the nervous system, neurology therapies. So their stock is at 7.92. I expect it'll go to 24. Falcon Minerals, they have a major property in South Texas. What they do is they acquire mineral rights and then they develop those, they sell those. They're in the business of locating and acquiring and exploiting, oil and gas business. So Falcon is now at 8.19, should go up to 20. But I want to wait for it. I want to see it drop to about 7.50. So I've placed an order to buy at 7.50, just a little bit lower than where it is now. Endo is in Ireland, but most of their business is here in the US, like 90% or something like that. A major portion of their business is in the US, pharmaceuticals. So they're at 9.87. Expect should rise to about 20 in a year's time. I want to get it a little bit lower, so I've placed an order to buy 8.30 is where I'd like to get in. LANTRONICS, Internet of Things. So, like let's say a cargo ship on an ocean voyage. Let's say they're transporting lobsters and fish, so they have to be kept in cold storage, right? So they have sensors in there, so they monitor the temperature. If it goes beyond the range, a message goes to the hub in the ship, and the technicians can then correct the problem so that the ship arrives at its destination with the cargo in good shape, not damaged. Or jet engines, the airlines, the Boeing or Airbus and so on. So the jet engines have sensors in them that continuously monitors performance. And if there's a deviation from the norm, it sends a message to the hub in the aircraft, which can then transmit that data to the company's headquarters, like Dallas for American Airlines or London for British Airways and so on. And also to their maintenance team at the next airport where this plane is going to land. So the mechanics there know what to expect. They know what tools and equipment they need to fix the thing. They're aware. That way, the aircraft has to sit on the ground for for a shorter time. They can have a quick turnaround. So that way the costs are lower and everybody's happy. So this is still at its early stages. This thing will become more pervasive when the price of those sensors drops some more. It's kind of cost prohibitive right now. So this company's stock is now at 304. Any place here, in my opinion, is fine to get in. Expect it'll rise to about 10. This company is based in Sweden, and they're in the touch screen. That's their foundation. That's how they began. But now they're diversifying into related technologies, innovations. So there are many other areas where these technologies can be used, different applications. So this is a growth area, and their stock is at 248, lingering in the lower regions. Expect it'll go up around 10 or so. Caesars Entertainment. I don't have to tell you what this is, hotels, casinos, stuff like that. So Caesars is now at 887. Should rise to about 16, which is just above this rise that you see, the recent rise. So it's right about here. 16 is where I expect it should go in about a year's time. Astrotech, they're in Austin, Texas, an innovation lab. So they acquire the fruits of research that is done by research labs or government or universities, and they try to commercialize the results of that research. Could be new products, could be new combination of technologies. They try to put together deals where the product can be conceived, manufactured, and marketed. So they kind of midwife the research results to the marketplace. So Astrotech might move slowly at times, but it might move rapidly at some point. So it's currently 515. Expect it should rise to around 10, somewhere in that region. Synalloy began a few decades ago as a dye manufacturer for textile businesses. And then they diversified. They acquired some companies, other businesses. So they're in the metals and chemicals business in general. Trading at 1483. Should go to 27, but I'd like to get in a little bit lower. I'd like to see it sink to about 11, and that's where I want to get in. So I've got an order to buy at 11. Okay, so those are the 12 stocks for January 2019 portfolio. Those are the 12 stocks. So let's say you buy one share of each of these 12 companies. So your cost would be $81.44. The estimated value based on those numbers would be about $195. But that's too optimistic, too rosy of, of viewpoints. But no, well, let's discount it. So even then, I wouldn't be surprised if it exceeds the 50% ROI. And we'll see. We don't know. We'll see. As time goes by each month, we're going to review, keep track of it. And as events unfold, we'll compare. That's the whole idea. But the target ROI is 50% on an annual basis. Okay? So the next meetup is the last Saturday of February, which is the 23rd. Same time, same place, Feb 23rd. All right. Okay, that's all I got, folks. Okay, thank you very much. So anyone is welcome to come and speak about any other topic if you wish, or we can just mingle and ask questions. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Thanks. Okay. Thanks. Thank you.